Welcome back to First Education. This is Zed. Today I'm talking about MNMD, Mind Medicines. In hopes today I'm going to be giving you a due diligence breakdown, technical analysis, followed by what I think about this stock. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So breakthrough mental healing. We help patients unlock the healing powers of minds through psychedelic-inspired medicines and experiential therapies. So under the presentation here, by the way, they have different tickers. Under the Nasdaq market, it's MNMD. Under the NEO market, it's MMED. And under DE, it's MMQ. And so, quick thing here, it's a $4.7 billion global annual anxiety drug sales, $9.5 billion global annual ADHD drug sales, and around $5.8 billion global annual anti-addiction drug sale, and $9.6 billion global annual depression drug sales. And the corporate strategy and thesis. Patients deserve more effective medicines and therapies for mental health and addiction. Most diversified and extensive psychedelic developments pipeline in the psychedelics industry. Acquisitive clinical trial approach is cost efficient and effective. Unique focus on all of the stages development and delivery from discovery to insurance. And moving on from there, you're able to see that the anxiety market is anticipated to go to $1 trillion by 2030. Addiction market is $2.5 trillion cost of the opioid epidemic to the United States economy over the 4 years. And ADHD, it's $194 billion lost productivity annually towards the United States. I think I just might have actually misquoted the $1 trillion. That's actually per year currently lost global productivity due to anxiety. Now, the global mental health costs expected to be a total of $16 trillion by 2030. In anxiety, it's 67% increase in benzodiazepine prescriptions. Around 36% of patients actually seek treatment. Now, there is more additional kind of nice graphics, etc. that I'm not going to go so much into except for this one here, which is their pipeline. So the first part is the LSD experimental therapy. Now, this is currently in phase 2B, finished phase 2A, and 18-MC opioid withdrawal that is into phase 2A, and LSD microdosal that is into phase 2A. Now, MindMed discovers University Hospital Basel LSD assist therapy that is in phase 2A, going to phase 2B, cluster headaches that's in phase 2A, and multiple ongoing or completed on LSD, MDA, DMT, and the Psilocybin that is going towards phase 1B. Now, developing the commercial drug trials. Now, the current phase 2B trial, it required that. Now, advancing towards 2B with FDA, using a phase 2 trial to jumpstart a potential phase 2B LSD trial for anxiety disorder, estimated to be completed around Q4 2021. Now, the currently here is the plan to file INDs around Q3 2021. So these are different timelines that you can expect the stock to kind of push forward because of these important days and PRs that will probably see a benefit for the stock market in general, for the stock specifically. Now, creating the antibiotics of addiction for 18-MC, and how it works is you have repeated opioid use, you got addiction, and you got the current treatments and back towards stabilization under the 18-MC regulatory drug. Now, 18-MC developed timeline. First off, you have phase 1 SAD to MAD trial. That is expected to complete around Q3 2021. Start of phase 2, that is expected to be completed anywhere from around, let's say, Q2 2022, Q3 2022, the end of phase 2A, and the start of phase 2B is around that time. The Q3 2023, that should be the end of quarter 2B and the start of phase 3 and NDA submission to FDA that is anticipated by Q4 2025. So you start seeing that there is actually quite of a long strategy in research and developments in pharma. And that is something that you can see basically with all the other competitions that you have. Pharmas in general do spend a lot of money and a lot of time in order to get a product into the market because it goes through an extensive FDA approval unless it's an emergency use thing, for instance, like COVID vaccines. Now, another thing you're looking at is a strong investor backing. You're looking into seed round around August 19, around $6 million. Pre-public February 2020, that's around $24 million in American dollars. Bought deal financing on May 20th, around $10 million. Bought deal financing around October 20th, around $22 million. Same thing, December 20th, around $27 million. January 21st, $72 million. And on March 21st, $15.4 million. So that's around $204 million raised since August of 2019 to date. The majority of them goes from February 2020, and also a big emphasis on the offerings that are actually perhaps almost diluting the market in that sense. Now, another thing I do want to take a look at is their latest news. So for the latest news here on the press release, MindMed announces Chief Executive Officer transition. MindMed announces shareholder meeting results. So for this one here, you're able to see, as described in the company management information circular date, April 2021, Jamie and Alexander Ryan, Miriam Halpin, Burnley, and a bunch of others were re-elected as directors of the company. In addition, the company press release date May 14, 2021, management of the company put forward Dr. Sarah Vincent as an additional nominee for its board directors. At the meeting, shareholders approved fixing the number of directors to be elected at 7 and approved all 7 director nominees. Furthermore, shareholder approved all the other resolutions put ahead of them: the appointment of RSM Canada LLP as an auditor, the authorization to amend and restate the articles of the company, and reservation of an aggregate 15% of the company issued and outstanding subordinate votes, shares, etc. Now, from there on, let's take a look into institutional interest. Unfortunately, we don't have much interest or much institutional interest in general. It doesn't show me any data in here for 13F. But there's one thing I do want to take a look at, is their total expenses per quarter. That seems to be somewhere closer around 4 million to 3.5 million. And that range itself, with around $200 million in raised cash, that definitely looks like something that they can last on for a while without really declaring bankruptcy. Now, based on the last quarter, you're looking into total assets that they have reported, current assets of around $141 million. Now, they said they raised around 206, so some of that might have went to paying debts, etc. But their total debt is almost null. It's around $8,000 compared to $141 million only in cash. So that is definitely something that is bullish, that they can last for a long time without really having to basically dilute their stock market. That doesn't mean that they won't do that. Now, MindMed also announces the launch of collaboration with NextEdge Therapeutics brain-targeted Lipson systems. MindMed announces the approval of the mescaline study. The Corpora or the Chopra Foundation, MindMed, enters into a letter of intent partner. This is different. Partner on the future of psychedelic medicines and mental well-being. MindMed receives the FDA Type C meeting response for Project Lucy Phase 2b clinical trial. MindMed announces the appointment of Dr. Sarah Vincent as an additional director. MindMed announces 2021 quarter 1 results, and they actually shared as well some of their cash. I showed you that in a second, actually a bit ago. And MindMed bolsters management team, appoints Peter Mack, PhD, as Vice President of Pharmaceutical Development. And MindMed announces Project Aggie, targeting the treatment of pain with psychedelics. And MindMed begins trading on NASDAQ. That was back on the 27th of 4th month, April. So nonetheless, we see a bit of information here. But before we move towards technical analysis, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to subscribe in the bottom right corner. The bell notification button should be here. Make sure to click that and drop a like. If you would like to join our Discord, totally free, in the description below, right on there. Now let's move on towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint of view, you're seeing that on a 1 month, 1 day perspective, this is actually pushing really forward lengthily. The ADX is sitting at 2767, suggesting a strong trend is ongoing with this one. The current willing percent R, however, is overbought, but this is not as alarming as it sounds, because this is more off volumes, in volumes, out volumes, based on average in the historical time period. Now, MACD here is gone positive and definitely increasing on the histogram, indicating a very strong move, and momentum is backing it up with a bullish reversal into the positive side at 0.73. Now, in terms of stochastic fast and stochastic slow, both are pinpointing actually upwards, suggesting that there is another leg up for this one. And the Bollinger Bands, which is a movement momentum at volume band, you're seeing that this one is expected to trade at 392 in the top and 289 in the bottom. Although more often than not, you can easily see them break these Bollinger Bands onto the top, at least for periodically, before and expanding that Bollinger Bands before it accumulates back down. Now, in terms of Fibonacci retracements, here's where things actually start taking a look into the fun side. The current our current support, which was a resistance, is sitting at 369. That's very bullish. Above there, looking at 305, 241, and 161. Current resistances 460 and 577. Now, I use Fibonacci retracements because they're very important to understand how algorithms might actually trade. By price line action, you're looking at a resistance of 394. Above there, 439. Above there, you're looking into 493 into the 503. Following that, 510 and then almost 580. Current support levels, a very strong support level sits at 383. Below there, you're looking down at 367, going to 354, going to 327, to 90, and then down to 270, going down to 262, and then down to 236, going to 221, 188, 154, going down to 109, 87 cents, and 75 cents. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Now, for me, myself, I don't understand really the psychedelic medicine industry, but from what I see, there is positive results with multiple different pipelines, not putting their eggs into one basket. They have an insane amount of cash in order to push forward with whatever research and development they do want. So I definitely think that they are very bullish in the longer term, relating towards every part that they do have. All the missing pieces are not actually in fact missing. They're all in there, where you usually find them missing in pharmas. And it really is dependent on, one, a bit of their luck. Two, it's going to take some time to get that products, or to get the products approved and onto the market. And three, the general market conditions. But in general, it does look better than some of its competition, especially with the market cash that you do have in the market cap. But nonetheless, I still am very optimistic yet cautious about this stock. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.